Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is where we talk about the carnivore diet, weight loss, other health issues, everything related. So in today's video, we're doing a 120-day update. Can you believe I've been doing this for 120 days, 4 months now, and I feel absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what's been going on this past month. But if you haven't seen the previous videos, check them out. I've got 30-day, 60-day and 90-day up on the channel. So if you're just starting now, it might be quite useful for you to start from the 30 days so you know what to expect. With that said, you've got to remember that this is my personal journey and your journey may be quite different. Nothing I suggest in any of my videos is medical advice. It's just me sharing my experiences in the aims of helping you get to your success a bit quicker than you are otherwise. So let's get straight into it. So this month I've really been focusing on OMAD. So if you don't know, OMAD is 1 meal a day. So previous to that I was doing 2 MAD, so I was eating meals at about 9 AM and 8 PM. And initially that was really good in terms of my weight loss, but then my weight loss really stalled and I thought I've got to do something. I started doing the odd day fasting, that helped, but as soon as I stopped, the weight loss stalled again. So in the end, I thought I'm going to give OMAD a try. Just do it for a few days, because at first I was like, this is basically 24-hour fasting or 23-hour fasting every single day. Can I do that? I wasn't sure. So I committed to just a few days to see how I did, and I felt absolutely amazing. And the weight started dropping off immediately. So I was like, I'm going to do this for a bit longer. I will say initially it was quite difficult in terms of not eating when I wanted to eat. And I still was quite hungry initially. But after, I would say 3 or 4 days, my body started to adapt. Well, I say my body, my brain started to adapt and it stopped requesting food, shall we say, when it wasn't going to get it. And actually it ended up working really positively because my brain knew that I was going to eat between 6 and 7 PM every day. And so it was happy to wait because it knew food was coming. So I went from strength to strength. I've been doing it about a month, and the main reason I am doing that is for weight loss, because eating at any time in terms of a carnivore diet is going to help health, like chronic illness, which was the reason I came to it. But in order for the weight loss to happen, I needed to do something extra. What I found was I was dropping nearly a pound a day. I'm now at 43 pounds lost total on carnivore, and I lost 20 pounds last year. So 63 pounds total. So I feel pretty good about that. I've still got another 50 pounds or so to go, but I'm very confident that I can achieve that. What I found as time went on is that I was struggling to eat enough. I noticed that my stomach was shrinking, and I was less and less hungry. Many times in this past month, it's gotten to the time that I have to eat and I'm not even bothered to eat. I just don't want to do it, but I do it because I need to keep that structure of 6 PM to 7 PM, because if I don't eat at that time, I'm going to be hungry at midnight and that's going to skew the next day. I really try to stay to the schedule. Even if I don't want to eat, I will eat. So what am I eating in that window? I did speak about that briefly in the last video, but I'm usually having some meat, so between 300 and 500 grams of meat. I'm having about 2 to 3 eggs cooked in butter, and sometimes I'll snack on cheese as well. And that is more than enough to fill me up and keep me going until the next day. And that's probably why I'm losing so much every day, is because it's not a lot to eat really, and I should technically be eating more, but I'm not going to force my body to eat more, especially as I've only got a 1 hour window. I'm just not going to make myself ill by doing that. So this is what's working for me. Now, some people have suggested that the weight loss is going to tail off. it doesn't ever tail off, certainly not in the last month. The only times it has slowed down is when I'm actually eating too much cheese. Cheese is the thing that slows it down, and if I want to speed it up, I'll just stay off the cheese. What I think is going on here is the autophagy that is going on after about 18 hours of not eating. Your body goes into autophagy, which is where your body becomes really efficient at cycling out old cells, debris in your cells, I guess, that you just don't need, want or use. Your body, while in autophagy, will get rid of all the toxins and things, and you will be left feeling pretty amazing. So I have also been incorporating walking for some time now. Did speak about that last month, but I'm doing about 10,000 steps, probably about 3 times a week at the moment. Because I have chronic fatigue syndrome, I can't do it every day. But when I'm feeling healthy, I will do it. And I notice when I am active with my walking, that also speeds up my weight loss, especially if I do it while I'm in the autophagy window, which is like 18 to 23 hours. If I go for a walk just before I'm going to eat, that really speeds up the weight loss the next day. Whereas if I go for a walk after I've eaten, I don't see any difference whatsoever. I know this is why so many of you do come to the carnivore carnivore diet, or are interested in this diet or lifestyle, is because you want to lose weight, and it is a really, really easy way to lose weight. I know when I was on the SAD diet that I could lose weight, but it was an ordeal getting there. It really was. I would just struggle with cravings. I'd be constantly hungry. Sometimes I'd fall off the wagon. Well, with the carnivore diet, all those cravings are gone. You do not crave. I think some people do crave it. I've seen in the groups sometimes people say they're still craving sugar. But in my own personal experience, I haven't experienced that. I've experienced not wanting to eat anything other than carnivore food. And all the noise in your head, you know, especially if you are obese or overweight and you like to eat all the time because your hormones are going haywire, you get a noise in your head. Eat, what can I eat? When can I eat? Shall I eat again? Am I full up? Am I not full up? Am I hungry or not hungry? You know, the noise in your head. Well, on carnivore diet, that disappeared very, very quickly, within about 5 days, I would say. And it became so easy to lose weight because I was literally just eating when I was hungry. Now, there was a downside to this, because what I found when I stopped eating for comfort is lots of emotions came up and depression set in, actually. And stuff that I hadn't dealt with for a long time came up. So just beware that that could possibly happen. And it's just something you have to go through. You've got to allow yourself to feel the feels. If you've been medicating yourself with food for all these years, then you are likely going to have some psychological issues to clean up, I guess, when you do this, because you are not eating for comfort, you're not eating for enjoyment, you're eating because your body needs nourishment, which that's the way it should be. And this is the way, if you stick to this diet, this is the way it is going to be forever moving forward. So it's really important that you deal with those other issues. When I came to this diet, I didn't do it for weight loss, it was for chronic illness. And for the first month, I didn't lose anything. Then I lost 20 pounds really quickly. I was like, hang on. This might be a way for me to lose weight, because I was very heavy at that point. I mean, I'm still heavy now, but I'm nowhere near as heavy as I was. And then it sort of stalled again, and I couldn't get it off again. I think I lost about 6 or 7 pounds, like just here and there. And it just, you know what it's like when you're losing weight, you just want to see the numbers coming down constantly. And that's when I started OMAD, and the rest has just dropped off. We're going to get there before the end of this year. I will be at my ideal weight of 12 stone, which is, I think it's 168 pounds. I don't want to go any lower because of loose skin and stuff, and I think that's healthy enough for me anyway. Maybe I'll end up going lower if I stay on this diet I may well. So something else I would like to talk about is nutritional deficiencies. Now this may be because I'm not eating enough in some people's eyes, but actually let me just address that for a minute, because people have suggested I'm not eating enough, and I estimated that I'm eating about 1,000 calories a day, but I know some days I'm going over that, maybe 1,200, 1,300. I tend to lose weight on about 1,100 calories or less. But if you think about it, my BMR, my basal metabolic rate, which is the rate at which you lose weight just resting, I need 1,600 calories a day. So in order to lose weight, I need to be at a deficit of about 500 calories. So that takes me down to 1,100, which is why I'm losing weight on 1,100. So I really don't believe that I am under eating. I think I'm eating just enough. But either way, lately, when I've been laying down for quite a while, I get up and I'm really lightheaded. There's a couple of times it's really taken the sails out of me. I get up and the blood goes to my head and I'm okay after a couple of seconds. But it started getting worse and worse. I thought it might be low blood pressure or low blood sugar because I'm doing OMAD. But no, it's not either of those things. I had to go and have my blood pressure taken the other day, and that was 120/88. I had it done a year ago before carnivore, and it was 120/86, so it stayed really stable. I did come off OMAD to have that reading though. I started thinking, I know what this is. It's vitamin D, because I have to take vitamin D tablets because I can't hold vitamin D in my body. Any time I would say in the last 5 years where I haven't taken supplements, my vitamin D levels go to the floor and I get really ill, and getting dizzy and lightheaded is one of the things that happens. Well, when I went on carnivore, I was taking vitamin D, and then I got out of it because I kept reading the meat gives you everything you need, and I eat a lot of eggs as well, which have vitamin D. So I just thought, I don't need it. And then I thought to myself, that's what's causing this lightheadedness, because I've been off of them for 3 or 4 months now. I started taking them again, and within 24 hours I was feeling a lot better. It hasn't disappeared completely, but it is a lot better than it was. When I was at the doctor's the other day having my blood pressure, I have requested to have some blood tests done. I've asked for a full panel. I'm waiting to hear whether they'll give that to me or not. But I think they will, because I haven't been tested for a year. So we will see. We'll do a video about that. If and when I get results back, then we will do a video, because I think it's going to be really interesting because of the carnivore aspect. By the way, online I hear a lot about doctors giving their patients a load of shit, basically, for being on a carnivore diet. I haven't experienced that. I've told 5 or 6 different health professionals that I'm doing the carnivore diet. None of them have batted an eyelid about it. Maybe they're just past caring, I don't know. But they haven't batted an eyelid. A couple of them have even said, oh, maybe I need to do that because I can't shift the weight. It could be the tide is turning. They're starting to have more understanding. I don't know. Maybe I've just been really lucky. As I said, I did come off OMAD while I was having my blood pressure, because I would have been fasting for like 21, 22 hours when I had it done, and I thought that might skew it. So the night before, I decided I was having 24 hours off of OMAD. And boy, as soon as I told my brain that, I could not stop eating. And I was eating lots of cheese and meats, and I stayed on carnivore, but I was just eating in excess, and I kept convincing myself I was hungry every 10 minutes. Well, what happened is in the night I got dumping syndrome. So I went to sleep. I was asleep for about an hour. I woke up in absolute agony. My body cannot process too much fat at one go. So I got the dumping syndrome. It's all up here in my solar plexus. Nothing was digesting. I also had it in my bowels as well, and I couldn't go to toilet to release and make some room, and it was agony for hours, and I was nearly throwing up with it as well. Eventually I managed to go back to sleep, and when I woke up it was a lot better. But then even in the morning, I was still eating. And I felt rough all day. All day I felt so rough from my constant eating. And I just thought, this isn't the way my body wants to eat. My body wants to do OMAD. It's used to OMAD now. So this is just what we're going to have to do, because my brain cannot switch off from eating if I can eat. So that is my 120-day update. I hope you've got some use out of it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know any interesting points you found in this video, or any advice you've got. Whatever, leave me a comment, say hi, because I love chatting with you guys. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.